Morning, K1 community. Jeff Wiggum. Sitting on the porch this morning. Thought I'd share that. Ooh, I probably should just share the other one while I'm talking to you guys, but it sure just seems impolite. All right, daily chat. I hadn't necessarily done just a casual daily chat in a couple days, but I'm trying. But this morning I woke up about 6, and which is early for me, just FYI. But with something, the thought in my heart, and it was about something I've seen. And bottom line, the thing I was going to talk about a little this morning is why is it that we can't go look at the Bible and a part of it and say, okay, we're going to take this, and we as a community are going to really just make this happen, bring this about. Well, I think there's a part of that is like, if it's, in this world, or even in pre-Jesus, or the secular people today, they can have a will and they can determine something, and they can set some rules and set some contracts and agreements, obligations, and they can all lock in, and they can go for it, and they can have power behind it. In this world, it's certainly the power of money, right? For sure. So if you want to do something in this world, it's by the power of money. They're going to give you money, and it's going to create an obligation, or you're going to give them money if they complete some kind of obligation. So this obligation is that's the way it goes. So there's nothing creepy about that. It's just sort of the way it is. It's common to all of us. There's no big revelation in that. But then when he happened to go cross over to spiritual, then you look back and go, well, okay, we had Israel. But then it was do these things. If you do these things, it'll go well with you. If you don't, it's not going to go well with you, right? So that's sort of the way it went. And that's a contract, and it's fair. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. That's awesome. But now we have a better one, right? We have a better one, and that is that we have a new covenant, right, with Jesus, and it's better for a lot of reasons. And it's where the other sort of on the outside, right? It says the circumcision of the outside, but we're called to be the circumcision of the heart. Now, guess what? There's no corporate heart. People might end up, because we have the one Spirit is in all of us that believe, that He can lead us into a lot of commonalities and a lot of agreement. Two can become one, all kinds of things. And we can do our best, right? Of like agreeing with each other and committing to things. And I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. That's great. But the way God's really dealing with us, He's dealing with us in the heart. So we have that. I believe, therefore, ergo, that there is a limitation of believers of how much we can make that happen in this world. Why? Because the thing we're testifying, or the power that we're saying we're using, is contrary to that, right? We're living stones, each individual. Now, we're rightly fitted, and I think we're put in place around people, but it is the Lord who puts it in place. And I don't think I don't think it's up to us to say, well, I'm going to need an accountant, I'm going to need a banker, I'm going to need my attorney, right? I'm going to need, a management expert, right? Organizational expert. I'm going to need some technical experts, right? Like an engineer. I'm going to need a computer systems expert, right? And then we're going to go find our team out there. And I'm going to definitely need some people with capital. And then I'm going to need some laborers, right? Whatever that is that we come up to in order to accomplish the work. Well, that's fine. I got no problem with all that, because that's welcome to the world. But that is the world, and it's the place we're in, that we're called strangers, foreigners, aliens, sojourners, right? It's not our world. That's not what we're doing as believers, right? We're in this world, but our kingdom is really something else, and we seek it first. And so when we try to apply all this worldly stuff to our Christian faith, I think it's we're going to have limited efficiency, because no matter what we say, even if we want to say, well, the book of Acts, tells us how the church is. Yeah, it tells you how that church was, right? Paul talks about how you can conduct yourself, and and we certainly have a basis of how they conducted them. Oh, that's fine. But, promoting and obligating to just a particular way of life, there's compromises that automatically happen if you're going to try to bring that about. But that's not what I perceive as the good news of the kingdom. The good news of the kingdom is that we're already a part of the church. And guess what? Our Holy Spirit is the one. And you know what? Our obligation is not that the smartest guy in the room, or we got Paul here, because Paul was definitely a special person. But we have the Holy Spirit, right? So the Holy Spirit's going to lead us. He's going to lead us in the truth. And he's going to lead us, and he's going to guide us. And I don't have to worry about trying to obligate some other person next to me. Look, buddy, we said we were going to go, and witness the gospel this weekend in downtown. You said you're going to do it. You're obligated to do it by the power of God. I command you to do it. Oh, you can't do it. Okay, give me $100 so I can have somebody else that'll drive me around. No. We sort of take what we get from the Lord. And that's why we're content. It's not we're content because I can literally go around taking account. I could, and I'd say, wow, more than enough. But that's not the origin of my contentment, because I have more than enough. It's because I'm content and I love the Lord. And that is more than enough. The things that might be, sound a little ambiguous, but what I'm really saying is, this isn't a system to be brought in. I don't believe. Nor is it a thing about measurement. Nor is it a thing about proving. The miraculous, because there's people in this world who already have more than enough, and they've accomplished everything. Guess what? Without Jesus. So what are you saying? Well, I'm almost as rich as, well, not Bill Gates, well, not even Donald Trump. Well, not even that guy down the street in the big house. Where are you going to go? Is that somehow proving God's provision? No, it's not. What proves God's provision is the contentment in our lives, the joy in our lives, our availability to do the gospel, right? The revelation of His truth. Even that, how much is that going to prove? It's going to be a witness. But you know what changes people's lives is that the Holy Spirit goes out with that witness, right? It's the Holy Spirit that witness. It's not even the condition. So let's say we all came together and we decided to live a certain lifestyle and do all these other things. That's not a stronger witness. That is no stronger witness than a little widow just walking down the street and dropping a couple pennies, dropping a 20 in the pot to help some homeless. You know what? When that's the only 20 she's got, or she might have so little, but she gives something to the home. Now that's a witness for God. And guess what? Nobody needed to make her do it. So that's it.